crowd when everything happened?
I was 15 feet away, and it was really hard to witness. He had just finished talking about his first subject was talking about, the Mormon faith, and somebody had come up that converted from atheism to the Mormon faith. He talked about how much he loves us, and it feels like they just have different opinions, and that's okay, but he loves our Mormon faith and he loves everybody, and it was just a lot of love and joy and kindness, And then the next person came up, and it almost felt like a cue to me, because they talked about transgender gun violence, and then as the guy said shooting or shooters or something like that, you just hear the gunshot, and I'm sorry, you just see his neck just open up, and there's just so much blood that just came out. It was horrible, and all I felt was everybody bringing me down to the ground, and I was sorry.
Take your time, you're okay.
All I hear is screaming, and I see people running, and I'm like, it's not safe to run, it's not safe to get up, it's not. And all I'm saying is, please God, please God, please God, because I don't want to die, I don't want anybody else to die, and I think I just saw a guy die, And we ended up getting up, and about 20-30 seconds later, and running into the building, and they took all the witnesses that were pretty close, me and about 12 other people, and we sat there for about an hour, and we're all just crying and seeing people posting the videos on social media. It was horrifying. It was horrible. I looked to see if there was a shooter. I didn't see anything. All I could see was Charlie was taken right away, and we were just still on the ground freaking out, not knowing what to do.
What was that like?
I mean, I don't think Charlie is necessarily contentious. I think he's very good at saying his points and being very blatant if you're interrupting him. There was only maybe, I would say, 60 people on this balcony that couldn't even see Charlie. They were on a balcony above his tent that were all saying, chanting F Charlie Kirk, things like that, and had signs saying some pretty upsetting things about him. That was it. Everybody else was drowning out the sound and saying how grateful we are that he took the time to see us and talk to us. We had questions. We wanted to talk to him, and instead somebody selfish didn't care.
Yeah, and to be clear,
if I'm going to be honest, I had friends coming in asking if they needed tickets, and I said they didn't even check for my ticket, which I did get a ticket. They did not pat us down. I feel like I maybe saw 3 or 4 police officers in this whole environment of hundreds of people, I would guess, which I thought was a little odd, but at the same time I thought, well, it's Utah, which is probably an ignorant thought to think, but there was not much security precautions taken. There was none.
But did it sound like the shot came from behind?
Yes. It sounded exactly from behind us, and that's why I was so worried, and I looked, but I couldn't find anything. But you could also see, obviously, from the way that the blood just, it definitely was from behind. So, or in front of him, I would say, but.
So I was watching the event, and I saw Charlie Kirk start talking and stuff, and all of a sudden in a second later, I heard a gunshot, and everybody started running in a mob through the doors, and it was scary.
Yeah, absolutely.
I got trampled in the crowd and just pushed through the doors, just everyone started running.
Right.
I mean, I just saw everyone sitting there, and then some booing of what he was saying, and then I saw officers up there just watching from above, and it was just all crazy.
Yeah.
Whoa. Okay. That's crazy. I was just actually just about 3 hours ago. I was on right before the Charlie Kirk event. I was there with another professor, and we were just talking a little bit about politics. Then I went to my office, or adjunct office, and then I was going to an AI event, AI for Business, and that's when I heard all these screams. They said there were gunshots by the Charlie Kirk event. I ran off campus. It was terrifying, and that's crazy, because I was looking up. I'd watched Charlie Kirk on YouTube a few times. He had these controversial things, but that's no excuse for gun violence, and I don't agree. I hate guns, honestly, so. Yeah, it's traumatizing. It's traumatizing for the students. When I saw students running off from the campus over the bridge there, a lot of them were crying. It was traumatizing for everyone. And now the campus is closed. So I was in the business building, an AI event, AI for Business. I thought, okay, this would be interesting. AI is sort of an application of mathematics. And then the students said, there's been gunshots, and they all ran out. Some of them were crying, they were calling their families, calling the police, and it was a horrific scene. I was sort of, I think I didn't really confirm the shock until later.
And knowing some of the results of what have happened today, tell me, now that you've had a moment to kind of process it, what are you feeling right now?
Well, that is crazy. That's horrible. That if Charlie Kirk is dead, I didn't completely agree with his politics, but I liked watching his videos on YouTube. That was back in 2020, so I saw some of his videos, prove me wrong or something. I was somewhat sympathetic, and I don't think this violence is justifiable, regardless of who's speaking, controversial or not.